Hey, Nicola, it's good to see you again.
Hello!
You
Three
know,
times in 2 weeks. How are you?
yeah, the toast of the town, the toast of the month. But here we are. Of all the other characters, most of the other seasons were people meeting up and then romance ensues. With Penelope and Colin, the characters have been friends. So the question is, how hard is it to go from friendship to something more? And who should have made, if not already, the first move?
That's a good one.
You know what? This is something I've been thinking about loads recently because there's a moment at the end of season 1 when Penelope she decides she's going to profess her love to Colin. And I'm so happy that she did not do it because it was the wrong time. Like, girl was so in love with that man. She could not read a room. She was just like, she was like, and you should declare your love. And you're like, or don't, or just shush, shush, shush. So they're very much right person, wrong time, this pair.
Yeah. Even at the start of the season this year, it's like, it takes them a lot to finally get to a good place.
Penelope has had a lot to do throughout the season. Luke, you've been in and out. So when you knew, obviously you know that the books don't go in order. At least the series doesn't go according to the books. So when you knew this was going to be your season, how much more did you have to do preparing yourself as an actor? Was it you're going to be the lead? You have to get in shape. What did you do? Did you stress yourself out a bit?
No, I was really excited for the challenge. We were told at the start of season 2. So I got to kind of experience the rest of Colin's journey throughout season 2, which, like you said, I was quite detached from the rest of the cast. I spent a lot of time visiting Marina, and I didn't go to all the balls. So it was kind of a nice moment of reflection and to prepare myself and see how Jonathan did it in the previous season. I was really excited for the challenge. I was really grateful for the opportunity and that it was coming, a year earlier than I originally expected. So I relished the challenge.
For Penelope, she's got a lot to do. Not only does she have to be out and about so she can write her stories, but she's also now tackling romance. How hard of a challenge is that if you had to do it yourself personally?
Oh, I mean, that's $1 million question. It is so hard to do it all. I think, the job that we have is wonderful. We adore it, but it makes it I will find that my loved ones, sometimes I'll feel so bad because I'm not, keeping in touch with them as much or nurturing those relationships as much as I could be because I put everything I had into filming this season. I think Luke was kind of the same. So it's an everyday struggle, learning curve. You try and do your best. It's hard when you love your job, you love the people in your life, but it's a juggling act, right? For all of us.
Yeah. What's been the biggest change in Colin from season 1 till now? Is he more bold? Is he more adventurous? Obviously he's had to travel, but he's come back a different man.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's discovered a lot more about himself. I think he's found a sense of purpose, which is, he's kind of, in season 1, he was a bit of a lost puppy and didn't really know where to turn. He was trying to find some reason to sort of feel like a man, but he just wasn't ready for that. So it's really nice coming into season 3 that he feels like he's had a bit of life experience. He feels like he owns something and some wisdom that he can impart on other characters and try and support them and encourage them in any way that he can.
For Penelope, is she and Eloise going to get back together? She needs her ride or die.
I need them to. It's something I desperately want. It broke my heart for them to fall out, but it also is kind of good because I think I'm really bad with conflict. If I fight with someone, I'm like, well, that's it. We'll never be friends again, and it's terrible and it's over. But friendships, as any relationships do, go through peaks and troughs. Nothing is always perfect. So I think it's good that they showed that moment with them, but also season 3 gives them a chance to come back together in a new way. Maybe it won't happen immediately and there's going to be even more challenges along the way, but it was very fun to examine that.
I kind of see Penelope like a Superman, because if she gets together with Colin, does she keep her secret and not reveal what she also does?
That's the big question. It's very tricky because she loves him with her heart and soul. She adores that man completely, but also it's not fair to him for her to, if you're keeping a huge secret like that from someone you love, it's like poison. It will eat away at you and at the relationship. And so I think it's a big moral question for her if she's going to talk about that or not.
Well, we've got episodes to go. We've got more seasons to watch. So let's see where these characters go. And hopefully I'll see you again sometime soon, sometime later.
Take care. See you again.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
here we are, Wilson Morales from Black Women TV. You know, you guys have been with the franchise, I think the longest, having done all of it so far. You know, so coming back again, you know, obviously everybody has a different tale. We're always getting a different story and a narrative per your characters. So coming in, what are we getting from each of your characters that's going to be different from what we saw you last do? Golda?
Ah, right. So for the Queen, we find her at the beginning of season 3 quite bored. Bored with the things that have been going on, bored with the way things have been going on. So she's looking for something new, something to whet the appetite a little bit in terms of finding a diamond, a sparkler, and she happens upon, with the help of Lady Danbury, a certain young Francesca Bridgerton. And I think in Francesca, she sees part of herself, this woman who is confident with who she is, a bit of a loner, authentic in her own skin. And I think it really intrigues the Queen. And then there's the Lady Whistledown investigation still. Will the Queen find out who Lady Whistledown is? We shall see.
And what would happen if she were to?
And what would happen if she were to? Yes.
And what about you, Adjoa? Danbury, you know, Lady Danbury is always in the mix. You know, she's always there, just like, you know, Golda's character, like, okay, let's see what's going on. I got no skin in the game. Maybe not, maybe this season she does, in a roundabout way.
You know, I think she's always got skin in the game. I think she is the game. She plays the game. She works the game, and she has. And you know, I think because we saw the origin story, you saw what it was like for Lady Danbury when she had no skin in the game, when she had no power, no autonomy, when she was an object taken from her father, given to this man, marital rape, he dies, she's a widow, no money. Does her son have a title? No, he doesn't. All she has is her brain, her intellect, and her determination that she's going to live the life she wants to live. So I think that history, it burns in her. And I think that fuels everything that she does at this stage in her life. She has to stay in the game. She has to know everything, because having that knowledge when she was a young woman secured her son's title from Princess Augusta. So it's like she understands knowledge is power, and the exercising of that knowledge is what will keep her in a place of power. At the same time, we've seen the Lady Danbury who fell in love with somebody, understood that you could be in love with someone and it could be a tender and beautiful thing, that sex could be something that made you happy, not something you endured. So she's got all those appetites and that interest. And so I think we find her at the beginning of season 3, she's kind of questioning, what is the game? Why am I in the game? What do I want to do with this? And then along comes her past to sort of kick her in the ass and shake her up a bit, and make her understand that you can never rest on your laurels, and that you will. And so she has to start thinking about, this energy is not helpful. What do I do about this energy? And it kicks up all sorts of woundings from her past that she has not dealt with. So we see her having to deal with all of that, trying to protect her friend, Lady Vi, from this energy that she thinks is negative and betraying, and she doesn't want in her life. So we kind of see her off her game. And I kind of like that, because that's where the learning happens, doesn't it? When you have to scramble to make things right when they don't feel right. So yeah, it's an interesting season for her, and that will roll out in its own way.
The two of you have been great friends throughout this franchise. Were you guys friends beforehand, or have you guys gotten tighter as the franchise keeps going?
Well, you know how it is, Black actors, we all know each other. And she and I, we've known each other. We knew each other before. We lived very close to each other. We used to meet in the park. I'd be walking my dog. You'd be visiting your mom.
My mum. Yeah. So we knew of each other. We'd never worked with each other until Bridgerton, though.
Yeah, but we'd seen each other's work. Yeah. You know, like you do. You know what's happening. So it's been a real privilege and a pleasure to work with this woman at the top of her game, that we have scenes together, that we get to be these magnificent women, looking fabulous, and you know, constantly the brain is ticking.
It's good to see you guys again. Keep it going. We're here to support. Take care.
Thank you.
Hey, hello, folks.
Hey.
And so for Claudia and Jessica, at what point did your characters go from frenemies to friends?
Oh yeah. Apparently it happened in the summer. This is what we know.
We haven't seen it.
Yeah, but it happened. The summer, it shows that summer's a really good time, isn't it? Sun's shining, you make mad decisions. We had a good time. Yeah, apparently it happened in the summer. And Cressida showed Eloise kindness when she needed it the most.
You know, and Hannah, you're the new kid on the block. You know, how comfortable did everybody make you feel coming onto the set?
Well, they're right here, so
Well, we can hold her.
Yeah, you tell the truth.
they were lovely. It's the nicest group of people to work with. I literally cannot imagine not knowing these people now. Yeah, I had the best time. They were so welcoming.
You never know what you're gonna get with Eloise. Every season we get, you know, you're seeing a different narrative on her character. What do you say when you come into it and you're reading the script and say, okay, where are they going to place me? Obviously, they're not going according to the books, at least from what we're getting. So, you know, what's your thoughts when you see what they got in store for your character?
I'm buzzing. I love playing Eloise. She's a barrel of laughs. I suppose with Eloise, there's room to play a bit because she is so close to the audience and she feels really contemporary. And she's a bit of a maverick, so you can have fun. But when I get the scripts, I get the most excited to be like, what funny things is she going to say? Where can I make people laugh? That's what I get excited for. And because Eloise was a legend on the page way before I got my grubby mitts around it. So, yeah, I don't need to actually work that hard because Jess Brownell and the writers do a wonderful job with Elle.
And for you, Jessica, you're coming in. Obviously, there's a lot more for you to do here. You know, do we get a happy ending? Do we foresee a happy ending, or you're just there to make everybody else look happy? If you're laughing, Featherington, you're like, okay, how does it play out?
Wow. I like to think at some point somewhere she will get to her happy ending. We've seen that she's multifaceted. We've seen that there's lots of sides to her. How they play out and how they pop up in this series and this, particularly number 3, we see a mixed bag. So I think she's, you know, she could switch. She could do anything. Let's be real. But yeah, I like to hope for the best for her.
And for you, Hannah, what came first? Watching the series, reading the books, or getting the call to be in the series?
Great question.
What did come first?
Yeah.
I actually auditioned to play season 1, so I actually had read a couple of season 1 scripts and then watched the seasons. Obviously, was a massive fan of the show, and then got the call to say that I was going to play Francesca. Then read the books. Yeah.
Nice.
Just went like that. Yeah. But I loved reading the books. It really helped.
The three of you, at least the characters you're playing, are in search of a guy, you know, so you have the ideal person that you're looking for that you would think would work well with the series.
Oh. Well, I suppose Theo last season was really perfect for Eloise's journey, for her to open her eyes to a different part of society, one that wasn't so in the ton and privileged, and, you know, there were political people fighting. So I think that was really lovely for Eloise. I'm a big fan of Theo. Big fan.
Yeah. What about you, Hannah?
I just want somebody for Francesca who doesn't try and change her in any way and makes her feel that she's complete and whole in her own right. Maybe who pulls her out of her shell a little bit. I do think that that's helpful, but yeah. But anybody who comes in to play any part, as long as they're a nice person,
Yeah.
that's what really matters.
Yeah.
And Jessica, at the end, you know, what are we looking for?
Poor man, she's just husband hungry. I mean, she'll take she'll take anyone, apart from someone, you know, who's old enough to be her great grandfather.
Standard for that guy.
Except for that guy. God, it would be amazing to see her find love. But I don't know about that one. But it would be amazing, you know, for her to find a man who's somewhat like Eloise, who can open her up in that way, would be a miracle. So he's waiting for the miracle.
Well, time will tell. We've got more episodes to go, more seasons to hopefully watch. Congrats on the rose. Take care.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Wilson Morales from Black Women TV. Hey, folks, how's it going?
Hey, good.
Great. How are you?
Good. It's good to see you guys have been on since season 1, getting bigger and bigger on all aspects, coming into this. How far along did you guys know ahead, if I have not read the books, to know if these characters are where they're supposed to be? Martins?
So we're not in the books. So that's already interesting. We're not in any of the books. So our characters are kind of created by the showrunners and the creators of the show. And so, yeah, we're kind of finding our way through. And we didn't really know this journey until we got the scripts. So season 3, we get the scripts and we're like, oh, okay. So that's exciting. So we're kind of discovering it as we go along, which is great.
Which is great for both of you, because obviously with the other characters, they know where they're going to go. It's a question of whether or not it's going to be told, if whether or not their story is going to be told this season or not. And for you, Emma, coming into this, having been a new character, how much joy is that, that gives a chance for the writers to play with?
Sorry, ask the question again.
The question, how much of a joy is it that, your character's new and gives the writers something to play with, because they don't have to go by what's in the books?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it gives everybody a great amount of creativity. It's good because we can't preempt or plan as actors what we're going to do too much. We have to stay very open to the journey. And I think that's actually true of Will and Alice as well, because their circumstances change so much season to season. First of all, when we meet them, Will is boxing for money, and it's hard, financially very, very difficult. They're in a hard situation trying to make ends meet. The books are not quite adding up. Then we get the bar, we become business people, and now we've got a title. And I think if we were able to preempt that as actors, maybe we wouldn't have such, I suppose, an authentic response.
Yeah. So, when you think about Will and his journey, is he comfortable, always evolving in different positions? It's like, at the end of the day, when you think about from season 1, he's hobnobbing with the rich and the elite. So even though he's not one of them from season 1, by the time we get to this season, yeah, he's one of them. Is he comfortable? Is Alice comfortable? Or are we still going to try to, is it more of an identity issue? It's like, let's not forget who we are.
That's it. Because the foundation is love. It's not materialism. It wasn't like, if I think about our backstory, I don't think it was about, I have this mansion or I have this or I have that. So it's more about an authentic love connection. So I think it's about not losing that, because sometimes you can get thrown into a new world and then you forget where you came from, you forget your foundations. So I think there's a lot of apprehension or fear of staying true and not getting lost in this new world.
For both of you, obviously this is a show that a lot of people watch. You guys have done other projects, whether it be film, TV, or stage. Is there anything you're picking up skill set wise being on this series throughout this journey that helps you out moving forward? Emma?
This series in particular?
Yeah, is there, obviously you've been on it now for all of the seasons. You've gotten high profiles, obviously just like yourselves, the characters are evolving, so as actors, is there anything you're picking up skill set wise? They're like, okay, I didn't do this before, whether it be on stage or other projects. Maybe I can take this to whatever project I do next.
I wouldn't say a skill so much as a mindset. I think the really interesting thing about watching Will and Alice is that they are observers of a culture aside from their own, but they're in it. And I think it's interesting to see that society rules are not always the truth. So how we are behaving we are quite straightforward people. We are hard-working people. Those are not perhaps the same societal, I don't know what you'd say, qualities that are looked for in the ton. And I just think it's good to know that one aspect of society behaving well isn't necessarily true. I hope that makes sense. I don't think I've explained that very well.
What about you, Martin?
Yeah, I think similar. I think it's a mindset thing of not losing yourself within a certain idea, not losing yourself within a certain idea of the industry, or what is expected, and trying to hold on to your values, whether that's family values or whatever you believe in.
Congrats on being in the series. Congrats on evolving, because obviously it's fascinating to see where these characters are going to go. We're here for all of it. So take care of yourselves.
Thank you so much. Take care.